how much, Ruby, did recovery from the back injury have to do with your decision not to continue with Batwoman?
It wasn't that. I mean, that definitely made going back to work, so quickly tricky. But they really accommodated, trying to help me out the best they could, going back so early because we wanted to obviously meet the release date of the show. I think what played a bigger part was more, we got shut down early. We didn't get to finish the first season, which is such a shame, especially for a first season show. And then we went into lockdown with COVID, and I think, in quarantine and lockdown, there was a lot of thought and reflection, and kind of everyone did it. We all kind of thought about where we're at, and so did Warner Brothers and Greg, and we were discussing the show, and we had a conversation, and I had a great time on Batwoman. I am so proud of what we achieved. We set out to achieve something pretty significant, the first ever live action Batwoman, the first ever, out gay superhero, and Kate Kane, and I love that character and that whole experience. But we did have a discussion, and we sort of mutually agreed that probably what was best for the show at the time was that they go in a different direction and I go in a different direction. And it was tough because it was sad because we all love each other, but also it made sense for so many different reasons. And, I think at the end of the day, I'm really excited to watch season 2. I think the show's great. I love the cast. I'm still in contact with everyone. But it was a decision that we talked about, we discussed, we slept on. But at the time, with all that reflection, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
I would think that would be a very difficult decision for you personally, though. I mean, you have all handled it so beautifully. I mean, you and the producers, and they're while everybody's looking for drama there, it really was, you really wanted to go and do other things. But that's a hard thing to walk away from. I'm sure it took a lot of reflection for you to decide that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah. And of course it was both happy and sad. Happy because I was really proud of what we did. And then sad because I'm going to miss everyone from the show and miss being Kate Kane. But I do believe that that's what was best for the show. And I think that everything we did set out to do, we accomplished. And I feel like as far as Kate's story, it kind of made sense now that handing over the mantle to somebody else would be a very sort of creative process for the producers and for the show. And then for myself, of course, saying goodbye to that character is sad, but I also am excited for everything else that's coming up.